Hello, thank you for tuning in to the video part of my blog, Sammy Spills. So, today, the topic we'll be discussing is digital activism and the role it has in society and if it really makes a difference or not. For me, I believe digital activism has played a large role in today's society and really can be taken into consideration when discussing the effects of social media on our generation and how we grew up with such a digital atmosphere and the aspects of life just being solely digital. Personally, I really feel that digital activism is both effective and ineffective in any way that you would really think to describe it. From my experience with most of digital activism, I have a few examples that I could talk about. A good example that really sparked my interest in the digital activism movement would be how people changed their Facebook profile pictures when the attack on Paris occurred to the opaque shadow of the French flag to show that they stood behind Paris and France in this act of terrorism. As someone who didn't regularly watch the news, or I don't really do much to keep up with the daily news in our society today, I know I should, but it really helped me to understand how big of an issue it was and how wide the attack was known and how really scary the world is becoming, and it really almost scared me from studying abroad, actually. And this movement definitely raised awareness for the attack and let other people know that they were safe. Like a lot of people that I know studied abroad really used this to check in with their families and say that they were safe. In retrospect, though, this digital activism movement did so much raising awareness and standing behind Paris, but it didn't send money to the families that were affected or help the people that were injured or anything like that. Like, it probably did spark people to help those families and get involved in the movement, but the movement itself didn't monetize or like do anything charitable, if that makes any sense. But that's kind of where I stand on the toss-up about whether it is effective or not. Another movement that I found sort of interesting and not really talked about a lot as digital activism is the group that was called Anonymous that broke out when Donald Trump was first elected president. And they really took to YouTube to post a video calling him to action and basically stating that if he didn't smarten up and really become a president that America needed, there will be consequences. Like, just how so many people were so controversial about the entire election. And the video itself really raised a lot of awareness that this wasn't okay to be happening, and the things that were said in the election it was a crazy election, and there were so many people who just even like myself, just didn't care enough to be put in the middle of all of that controversy and couldn't really understand all of the issues that they were discussing, and this was my first presidential election that I was allowed to vote in, and for it to be such a topic that got you a lot of heat for either side, it was hard for a lot of people my age to get into it. And I think this video really forced a lot of people to pay attention and really understand what was going on and what is coming out of his mouth.
Now it's time for we the people to apply political pressure at every level of government to make sure that he does what he promised.